Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. This is the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Spencer Israel, JC Parets, Steve Strazza with you this morning. We got Dan on the charts. We got people in the chat. Mary's here. Good morning, Mary. Dawson, Gerard, Wavy, Phil, Mick950. If you're watching us on the old X, hello. I don't have that chat open, but hello to you too as well. We got a lot going on today. Michael Batnick will be our featured guest from Ritholtz Wealth Management. He'll be on the show at 9. We'll have Kenny Glick stop by. We'll have Jason Purrs stop by. And we'll get you started for the week. Sound like a plan? We'll go through the earnings for the calendar for the week. We'll talk about what happened last week, what that means for this week. We have a Fed this week. Do you guys care about that? I don't care about that. I don't care about that. But we do have it. So that's what's going on in our world. If you're watching us on YouTube, do me a quick favor. Give me a like. I'd appreciate that. And let's bring on JC. Let's bring on Strazza. And let's do this dance. Shall we?
Good morning. Good morning. How's
Morning.
everybody doing?
Great. How was your weekend?
Fantastic. Last ski day of the year yesterday.
Ooh, bittersweet.
Dude, we went in there. My daughter's been asking me about poles, for a while. And, I told the instructor, I was like, listen, she's really interested in getting poles. I understand, it's not really the time. They're like, let's see how she does. Maybe she'll get poles. And the whole mountain was empty. We're the last ones. Great skiing, by the way. Unbelievable. There's nobody there. And, even I could tell you, as somebody who skied plenty of amazing mountains, it was actually great skiing in the Poconos yesterday. And towards the end of her session, she got the poles, and she was getting standing ovations from people all over the place that overheard the conversation. It was really, really cool. And seeing a 5-year-old who's never skied in her life start to ski this year. And
you got to hold the poles like this when you're 4 years old, right? For balance.
Did a little bit of that, today, actually, before they gave her own poles, and she skied with her own poles. And she's 5 years old. She's ripping it down the mountain.
Nice.
Ripping it. And
Very cool.
Full control. It's fascinating watching kind of the development of something going from zero to she could ski blues comfortably at 5 years old. It's fascinating.
It is fascinating to watch kids and babies just learn new things. Very, very cool. All right. We got Strazza here lurking backstage. Let's do a quick state of the markets, JC. And let's see. Let's take the temperature this morning. How we feeling this morning? Let's figure that out.
I feel fucked. All right. This is the type of market where I'm getting text messages from Strazza on Sunday evenings. Did I text him first about something else? I think I may have texted him first about something else. So it wasn't an unsolicited text about crypto. Him and I were already conversing about other things. And he's like, hey, by the way, but just so you know, Strazza slipping into my DMs on Sunday nights. Goes to show you, we know how he's positioned, right? He's made it abundantly clear. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average, ladies and gentlemen, the world's most important stock market index, is up 340 points this morning. It's about 0.75%. 47,225. We got the S&P 500 futures up close to 1%, 6750 for S&Ps. That's 250 points away from S&P 7,000. NASDAQ 100 futures leading the way this morning, up 1.15%. That's 280 points to the upside. 24,885 for the NASDAQ 100 futures. 30-year bond futures up this morning, up 0.5%, 114.5. Crude oil down 3%, just under 96. Copper up 0.75%, 580. Gold down 0.2%, 5,025. So that's 5,026. Just to be clear, down 0.75% today. Silver down almost 2%, just under 80, with the VIX still at 25. pricing in a 1.5% move in the S&P 500 per day. Just to be clear, that would be normal. Bitcoin up 1,000 this morning, 73,800. Yes, you heard it here. 73,800, highest level since early February for the BTC. You got Ethereum pushing 2,300, up 5% on the day. Solana 93, up another 1% on the day, highest level since early February across the board. That brings the total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, up to 2.5 trillion. 2.5 trillion. How fast time goes.
Yeah, well, what did we say the other week, right? I mean, the best thing about Bitcoin is it stopped going down, right?
Listen, in order for prices to start going up, they got to stop going down first. It's just math. Louise Yamada. Shout out to Louise Yamada, who's the one who always said that, but she's right. It's just math.
Crypto is probably the story of the morning here.
You think so?
In terms of the overnight action, yeah, right.
Well, I would say the whole weekend action, right? Because it was moving all weekend. Russell 2000 futures up 1.1% as well. It's a big move. For me, the biggest move, I hate to be such like, hey, there he is.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
I miss my weekend text messages about crypto from you. You know, it doesn't happen every day. It used to happen every weekend years ago.
Happen a lot.
It's going to start happening more and more, you think?
I hope so. Here's the thing, and you're right. It's not the story of the morning, Spencer. It's been the story. When war headlines 2 weeks ago now, 2 weeks ago now, I find it funny that the single most volatile, highest risk asset known to man of a certain size, which is Bitcoin, has been up now for 8 straight days. Through all this volatility, through the market crashing and futures selling off every morning, Bitcoin is going up every single day out here. What does it mean, JC?
Well, it's a hedge against terrible things happening.
I hate this.
It's a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against war. It's a hedge against monetary policy. It's only going up because everything else is going down, Steve.
I'm so glad you said this. That's the most ridiculous narrative out there. This is the highest risk, most offensive vehicle known to man, okay? It's got nothing to do with defense. There's no war hedge. There's no oil hedge here. This is just Bitcoin. It's a speculative asset, okay? And they want it. They like it a lot right now. So I think it's very interesting. I think the cryptos are bottoming quite clearly out here. These tactical bases are completing. The tokens themselves are now looking more like Coinbase, right? Resolving these little bases. You could drop little VWAPs from the pivot high before the decline into these bases. They're being reclaimed here today. Some really big levels. I think it's hard to own enough Solana at this point.
Wow.
I'll tell you kids what the story of the day is.
Tell them. I'm going to put on my Bitminer hat.
All right. These kids, you see, pay attention here, folks. They're talking crypto, right? Talking small caps. You know what the most important story of the day is? And I hate to be that guy, but you need an adult in the room sometimes, and I'll play that role. The story of the day is the dollar.
Yeah. Yes. Totally.
The American greenback, the old dollar. Throw it up, Spencer. Slide 4. There it is.
Snuffed at resistance here.
Man, that's resistance. A lot of resistance. So you had the bounce off the 23 lows. You had the bounce off the 24 lows. And then after those bounces started to roll over, stocks ripped. Remember, it was supposed to be Black Monday in October of 23. As it turns out, is one of the greatest buying opportunities in our generation. 2024, the dollar really fell apart coming into last year. Obviously, record year for stocks across the board and risk assets. And now we've gotten that bounce back to that former resistance. So back to that former support. Does that former support, Steve Strazza, Spencer Israel, and everybody in the chat, turn into resistance again?
Yeah, huge level, right? I mean, if you talked about the dollar last week, all you were saying is, this is not good. But this is exactly what you wanted to see. Ran right into this well-tested level. 100's been the level in the dollar for years now. And it's coming off in a big way today. If, that's it for the dollar advance and we enter some sort of corrective wave off of this very logical level for that to begin, tailwind for risk assets, right? I think that coincides. That makes sense. That would coincide with bottoms for risk assets, tradable lows out here, right? Dollar backing off 100, kind of getting rejected at this big level. Stocks bottoming, crypto's bottoming. Oh, you got to own the software.
By saying you got to own the software, you can't own enough Solana and you're long crypto. Are you just being repetitive and saying the same things over and over again?
I hope so.
You hope so.
I hope so.
So it'd be better for Strazza and company if the relationship between software and crypto remained intact.
Yeah.
And if there was a divergence there, it would not be good. Tell me more.
I want them to confirm each other because I'm long both, right?
So you just, I mean, to me, I don't think you're long both. I think you're long the same shit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think like you're diversifying at all here.
Yeah, sure. I like it. I'm on board with that. That's great. Okay. You know, it's a big basket. You know, and if you think about it, I was a little bit early to this, right? But I've been talking about software and crypto kind of incessantly for many weeks now, right? Because I agree, JC, it's a very similar theme. The charts look the same, right? These are some of the most battered risk assets out there. And when you go looking, right, for tradable lows in this market, it's not industrials, it's not financials, it's not small caps, not any of the stuff that just recently got hit like the Dow. It's software. It's stuff that bottomed weeks ago. It's crypto, stuff that bottomed the first week of February, for example, right? Those have the best bases, which end up being launch pads for reaction rallies out of a tradable low. This is a great chart.
I think this is a major top that's about to completely collapse, Mr. Strazza. I read it on chapter 3 of the technical analysis book. No, the book is wrong. The textbook tells me incorrect information, fake news, not a top.
The textbooks are great talking about patterns and how they work, but the textbooks are very bad at reminding people that patterns fail all the time and morph into other patterns. This is a distribution pattern until it's not, and then it becomes a beautiful continuation pattern. We call them failed tops. And I think, you know, what better time and place for tech stocks to bottom, dig in, and reassert that old leadership. It's not uncommon. I know you get mad at me when I say they always lead off of lows.
Well, that's
not uncommon.
That's definitely not true.
It's not uncommon for these stocks to lead off of big market lows in a big way. You give me that one at least?
Yeah, it is not uncommon. It's
not uncommon.
Not uncommon and always are two very different things.
Always. It happens all the time.
No, fake news.
Hey.
What about trannies? Trannies get no love at all. Throw some slide 2.
Not really for me.
Throw up slide 2.
They have a lot of problems, this space, you know, the transportation, especially
new crypto trade alert, just hot off the presses.
Yeah, for the people who want to worry about like surging oil prices, well, here's the group that you can worry about, right? For all those people who are like, oh, oil's going to crash the economy. No, it's not. But it's really bad for a lot of stocks, like airlines and Strait of Hormuz being closed. Not great for shippers.
Oh,
right?
Man, there's that Hormuz again. I love it when people talk about the Hormuz.
I watched 60 Minutes episode about the Hormuz
last night.
Yeah, I feel very informed.
60 Minutes was talking about the Strait of Hormuz last night.
I feel smart enough to repeat some things that I heard on CBS last night.
Hold on. Stop.
Yeah.
The Strait of Hormuz was
the topic
of conversation.
JC, it's not a signal. Don't even.
Arm the laser.
Don't even.
Tell me more about, Spencer, tell me more about what is a signal and what is not.
This is not. Strait of Hormuz is in the news.
Oh, he's rhyming out here.
Everyone's talking about it.
Right. And when everybody's talking about the fucking Strait of Hormuz, you think it's early in the cycle or a little late to the game? It's on fucking 60 Minutes.
Off topic.
Grandma's calling me about the Strait of Hormuz.
Wait, I learned last week. Do you guys know that Southwest Airlines stopped their oil hedging program a while back?
A long time ago.
I didn't know that, or I forgot.
They used to be the best, and then they stopped.
Yeah, I either didn't know that or I just forgot. Because I was like, oh yeah, Southwest, don't they hedge? Nope, nobody hedges. Turns out nobody hedges.
So hold on. So tell me more about what CBS is telling your financial advisor.
All right.
No?
Oh,
I only watched the 2 seconds of it, so I can't speak really to what they talk about.
Should I watch it, Strazza? Am I going to feel dumber afterwards?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It was just a little color on like what's actually going on over there. Like no public companies are running, oil tankers through this situation. They're all just like sitting there waiting. And then like around sending all their oil to China, which is a little scary.
Back to trannies. Back to trannies. Not getting any love. Is this just a retest of former resistance, Mr. Steve Strazza? Because the small cap Russell 2000 looks just like this. Emerging markets look just like this.
I don't know. Look, in industrials, which is what this is, have been the strongest group in the market. We were looking at industrials like a week and a half ago, like, oh wow, this is really incredible. Like they can't break them down, just high and tight here. But then they took them down. So I think maybe like a bit longer in terms of corrective action for industrials, while other stuff picks up the slack, would make sense here. I think you want to rotate here. Industrials have been great. Let them dance. A little backing and filling. I don't know. Could this be failed breakouty for a little while, or is it just false startish? But maybe a little slow and sloppy coming out of this base. I think that would be fine. I would give it some time here and focus on some
extra sloppy for you.
Well, I hope you like them extra sloppy.
Extra sloppy?
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to the trannies. How about this one? How about slide 6? We'll do 6 and 7 here. Throw slide 6. Here's a big one, Strazza.
Yeah.
Here's a big one.
Really good, JC.
Is this a
really
monster
nice
top again?
I would say the same thing here about the XLK SPY, but this is bigger and badder in terms of size. This is a multi-year distribution pattern. They're already trying to break it. Yeah. But the numerator, small cap financials, are trying to shake it. So I don't know. Do we scoop and score here? That would be just lovely. I think small cap financials hanging on would be an overall positive for the small cap trade. Whether or not it matters too much we're talking about growth stocks and software stocks catching some rotational tailwinds out here. I think this chart could break down and that could still be true.
Dude, Steve Strazza is going to get such a shout out when my book gets published about the whole score. Going to get a Strazza shout out in the book. It's going to be the greatest book in the history of finance, and Steve Strazza is going to get a shout out. Can you believe that?
We should write a book about chart patterns, but we just rename them all. Like just completely new names.
Yeah, like Edwards and McGee were not discussing the Andy Dufresne,
right?
For example. Right?
No, they made a mistake.
There was no faux show, bro, in Dow theory.
That back in the day when they came up with all these terms, which really at the end of the day, we have continuation patterns and reversal patterns and then failed patterns, right? There's 3 kinds of patterns. But they weren't having enough fun when they named these things, right?
They weren't having any fun at all.
They should have made technical analysis appear, at least sound more fun. It might have gone a long way with the discipline gaining more traction over the years. So I think
it was the middle of the Great Depression. They were depressed. It was very depressing.
Some of it sounds fun. Death Cross. That sounds fun.
No, that wasn't them. That was some journalist shit later on. They just made that up. These fucking psychopaths.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Death Cross. Death Cross. First of all, these Death Cross it's actually bullish, by the way.
All right.
But it sounds scary, and these journalists are not here to help you. They're here to make sure that you read their precious articles so they can go whore themselves out to sponsors. Let's remember what their objectives are and what ours are. Very, very different. We don't use silly words like that.
The Hindenburg omen sounds pretty bad to me.
Yeah. Another bullish one. The more they say Hindenburg, the more you need to be adding to your 401k.
Yeah.
So the last one that I wanted to bring up here is the consumer staples on a relative basis. Mr. Steve Strazza, we talk about certain groups that have a defensive tilt, like maybe a healthcare or a real estate or maybe Utes. But there is only one defensive sector. In fact, some of the software platforms out there actually call them consumer defensives, right? So is former support about to turn into resistance? Because when this line is going down, Marcus making it rain.
I don't want these stocks. I don't want utilities. Real estate, probably not either. I like BJ's.
Who doesn't love BJ's?
But I think staples fade here on a relative basis. Also, something about oil prices. All right, everybody's freaking out. Would it be so bad in a global economy that hasn't seen sustained inflation for, 2 decades? Would it be so bad if oil prices hit new record highs just like everything else in the world? Would it be so crazy if just like the price of your house and your stock account and all these other risk assets hitting new highs, copper, gold, all this other commodity stuff, would it be so crazy that prices at the pump would hit new record highs? Do we have to all freak out as a country for if that happens? Like, really? I think, we have to really change our minds the way we think about this. Crude oil is going to hit a new high one day, right? The chart's not going to go sideways and make no progress
crude oil 250. Do I hear 250? Anybody going once?
No, but really,
twice?
Like, is it so crazy to think that oil prices, some new all-time highs there? New all-time highs in gasoline, what we pay at the pump?
I think there's some generational PTSD going back to like the 70s about
no doubt.
High oil prices, Steve. But you know what's funny about the
how many of those are left around here?
Is no one talks about like how cheap oil gasoline is when it's like $2.50 a gallon, right? No. It's like no one acknowledges. Oh yeah, gas is pretty cheap these days. It's only when it goes up to $4, people freak out, right? Or
it was my wife who said it. We were driving by. She goes to the gas station. She looks at the gas. She's like, "Wow, these gas prices are real cheap." I was like, "Uh-oh."
Right.
That was a couple months ago. Remember, I talked about it on the show.
Yeah,
shout out to Morgan, the great contrarian indicator.
Morgan was signal.
Morgan was a signal there. Usually, she's not so contrarian. It's because she gives me insights on trannies. She's good at those. She's good at like logistics and stuff. She's good at retail names. She's been all over the TJ Maxx.
So I understand that 80%, that's probably a high number. I don't believe that, actually, that a lot of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, right? But that has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Yeah, whose fault is that?
Risk assets.
I get
new highs, right? Yeah. So to think that the price at the pump is never going to hit a new record high, your brain's not working right. Of course it is.
Also, those people don't matter. Remember, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't matter to this market.
I hate this take.
It's true. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you have no money, you are not relevant to this conversation. We're talking about assets being put to work. Am I wrong?
Everybody matters. Can we bring
I got one more question. Then we're going to bring on Kenny, and we got Michael Batnick in the house. Love that. My question to you, as far as like this SpaceX IPO, right? So you got $1 trillion, $1.5 trillion. Are you looking at this as a net negative? Like all this capital needs to own this now because it's such a big component now? Or are you seeing all this liquidity now freed up that's been tied in this and this creation of wealth that will now be deployed into other assets? Which is what I think it's the latter. I look at this as a net positive for markets, all this new money coming on that could buy other shit.
What new money?
The new money when SpaceX goes public.
Oh, that's going to be the top.
The exit.
I know we say that like funny, haha, and I'm the one who said that at the beginning. But like, serious, joking aside, is it a net positive or a net negative? The more and more I think about it, it's a lot of new wealth that didn't exist before that now exists. That's $1 trillion that now exists.
Look,
it exists.
It does not exist, Spencer Israel.
It exists. It exists on paper. It does exist.
It does not, because you can't borrow against these private assets. Now you can, or you will.
The SpaceX IPO is going to be interesting. I
agree, but is it a net chat? The chat's smarter than both of you guys.
I don't know. It might be a disaster. I've been reading about what the Nasdaq is trying to do, and now the S&P maybe too. Like this
is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
This could be.
It is a big. I'll be the first to tell you that things don't matter when they don't matter. This matters.
Well, this will be the largest IPO by far of all time.
Right. And it is now new assets. And I'd love to hear Batnick's take. Batnick's probably got a take on this.
They might wait. They're going to launch this thing. I got to sneeze when it makes most sense. If liquidity dries up and we're not in a risk-taking environment, they're going to shelf it.
Harmon has a good question here. Short-term or long-term impact? That's a great, short-term. Strazza might be a top, but I think bigger picture, providing all this liquidity. Yeah. All right, let's get to Kenny. Let's get to Michael Batnick. We got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
A lot to talk about.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my cloth, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Kenny Glick in the house. How are you, sir? Oh, Kenny's on mute. First
Yeah,
timer, Kenny?
yeah,
First
mute.
time on YouTube?
The old mute trick.
Are you?
I'm just a guest here. I'm in the green room eating Milano cookies. You guys got to work the mics. What's up?
Milano cookies for breakfast. That's a Strazza move right there.
Yes.
Kenny, what is this bullshit about a market crash on March 20th?
Yeah, tell me more about your conspiracy theory. Just because you're out of town, the market's going to crash because Kenny's in Iceland.
That's right. March 20th or the 23rd. So again, right now, all these mini predictions of volatility have been coming true. Even this move right here, I stayed a little short over the weekend, the just in case trade, but last week I was really, really bearish. Nothing's changed for me except now, if the complacency comes back and we start having this kind of flattish, bullish moment for the next couple of days, it's setting up to exactly how I thought it would play out. I just think there's going to be more volatility to come before it's over. And even if we do go to where I think I'm going to go, let me show you with this chart. It's really just not that big of a deal, because we were seeing these levels not too long ago. Here, take a look. This is the QQQ, right? So I'm in the camp where I think.
Show the screen. There it is.
There you go. Hang on a second. So here's your 6-month VWAPs, right? So I'm just in the camp that we're going to see something different. I know, crazy. This time is different, right? It's never
different every time, Kenny.
Right. I just believe that this long consolidation is going to lead to a breakdown first, then just a breakout. That's it. And this 9-month VWAP that we've been battling and losing, there's that last time we cared about tantrums for about an hour or so. I just want to see that little spot get tested. And I think if people are looking to take some, cash out, if they're nervous, they want to pay their tax bill, and also I'm not here to protect the entire planet. Look at this move right here. This is your 1-year VWAP. We're not that far. We're talking 570. We're talking just another 20 points. If that was to not hold, we can get down to 550. But the question is, what then? After that, we're probably going to go back to just being in rally mode. And right now, the market's not going to crash without Bitcoin coming down. So 3 weeks ago, when Bitcoin was giving it up down to 60, it got scary that night. Now Bitcoin is holding this market together. If you're not witnessing that, then you're delusional. I don't want to admit it, but Bitcoin is just the QQQ on steroids now. Bitcoin stays strong, market stays strong. You have to see that. It's real. It's happening. So Bitcoin gives it up again while we're selling off. Then I'm going to get super, super bearish. But right now, it's just another complacent bull market Monday. And everything's fantastic. Roses and unicorns and love.
And rainbows. And butterflies and whatnot.
Right.
So let me ask you this. So the NASDAQ 100 right now is above any anchored VWAP that would keep you bearish, correct?
Listen, I'm still bearish this market. I have to. It's basically prove it to me now, right? Again, that's the.
And what would it have to do to suggest that being bearish is idiotic?
Well, let's go the other way. Let's give me a moment here for a second, like the silver trade, right? If UVXY maintains strength, and that's been the linchpin to hold this whole thing. UVXY came back last week. The market was going to get weak. So now that we're down 3 points on UVXY, if you see overnight highs even getting touched, that's 52.75. UVXY above 55 again, let alone this is going back to the last moment when we had that little mini correction. That was 61.75. Ladies and gentlemen, if UVXY is above 61.75, especially when I'm away, you better be short in something. Gots to be short in something. So that's the linchpin right now. So when this garbage, and again, I affectionately call it garbage, it's built to go down. That's why I say it. But when it shows strength and when it's trending up and not doing the normal collapse, you have to know that there's more volatility.
Gotta be short in something.
Yeah. There you go. But right now, going back to just being the lowly day traders that we are, you got a stock like NBIS, right?
Yep.
This is where the money's being made, my friends. It doesn't matter your opinion. It doesn't matter what the companies are. Here you go. Let me show you what we just did on NBIS. So somebody brings it to my attention, says, hey, is this a short? I'm like, yes, it is. Because gapped up on a news report or an earnings report, it's the same. And then it tests VWAP from on top, and then it breaks and tests it from underneath. But let me show it to you on a minute chart because it's even more apparent. Right there. You want to short something? It better look like this. It better look like HIMS the other day when it gapped up and rolled over, or Oracle. give me a reason with a low risk trade, then I'm in. So this was a short today, and some of the guys are shorting this thing right now. I'm sitting on the sidelines right now, just waiting to see if the volatility comes back. But this is what we trade. Stocks that are in the news around VWAP. It's a very simple process. Gap up, we look for some selling. Gap down, we look for some buying. That's why I'm sitting here just waiting to see if they start selling the market off today. But right now, the day's pay is this NBIS. So far, so
and guys, I got to tell you something. I talk to Kenny every day. This is the same chart that I have seen Kenny show me 1,000 times, or flipped upside down if it was a gap down, breaking out above it, number one. Number two, right. I've been talking to traders and investors of all shapes and sizes and levels of craziness for decades. And I can tell you very consistently, the only pattern that I have ever seen work for day traders ever in my entire life is this. And by the way, Kenny's not the only person in the world who's discovered this. I think Kenny is probably one of the best ever at actually quantifying it. But some of the other successful day traders I've seen in the past have some sort of variation of this, right? Fading the strength, buying the weakness. Kenny quantifies it very well with a volume weighted average price, and I think nobody does it better. But this mean reverting strategy on an intraday basis is what works. The risk versus reward is in your favor every single time. The probabilities of success are also much higher than you'd think. And it's easy to quantify. So you know where you're wrong. You know where you're taking profits every single time. And for me, regardless of whether you're a day trader or long-term investor, it doesn't matter. I don't care how high you think it goes or how low you think it goes. I want to know where you're wrong. And with every trade that Kenny puts on, you know exactly where you're wrong immediately. And I appreciate that. How am I doing, Kenny? How am I doing?
Thank you, Flavor Flav of VWAP. That was impressive. Very cool,
brother. Just get me the clock.
Yeah, boy. Wow, that was pretty good. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. That's my time. So that was great.
Later.
That was great. But yeah, be careful out there, folks. Yeah, you said it all. That was awesome.
I'll do what I can. Right. I'm a very keen observer.
Listen, hitthebid.com, trade live with Kenny. I always think back to what we were on the floor of the exchange a year ago, right? With Jay Woods. And what did he say was the biggest innovation in his career as a floor trader? He did not say it was HFTs. He did not say it was algos. He said it was VWAP. So that was the biggest innovation in his career. Okay. So and Kenny, I think you were there for that, actually.
I was. Let me just show you one more chart.
Was that when Kenny and I got kicked off the New York Stock Exchange? Was that that time, or was that different time?
That was not
that was a different time?
That was different.
Let me show you one more chart just before I go. So here, last night, I mean, if you're like me, 6 p.m. on Sundays when this whole game gets started again. So I excuse myself from the dinner table. I go check the futures. And, again, it was...
How polite of you to excuse yourself from the dinner table.
Yes, the whole family was here. Nice. My daughter was here, the whole thing. Look, we gapped up. And everybody thought, this could be another terrible gap down, scary market. But the more important part is this is just your VWAP and your prior day. Once you established yourself above VWAP, and then where you get the fake out, shakeout, holds the prior day VWAP right there, is where you're buying it, low risk trade for unlimited reward. And that followed through the whole night. So we haven't seen the follow through to the open in a long time. So super bullish until it's not. But right now, if you're trading futures without VWAP, stop doing that. All right? Be careful and get this chart on your screen one day, and you'll see how it's very simple. It's a very simple process with limited risk and risk reward in your favor every trade. All right?
All right. See you, Kenny. Hitthebid.com. Go trade live with Kenny every single day. He's also live on our channel Mondays through Thursdays at 11 o'clock. So,
and just to be clear, we weren't kicked off the New York Stock Exchange floor. We were politely asked to leave. It was more of an escort out. And within a week prior, 2 weeks earlier, we got kicked off of the Tokyo Stock Exchange. I don't know how many people out there have been asked to leave 2 different stock exchanges around the world within probably 10 days. We'll have to check the dates. Had to have been within a week or two. So some of us have more proud accomplishments than others, and neither time were we literally kicked out. It was just, you guys can't be here. You got to go.
All right. We got Michael Batnick in the green room. Should we bring him out?
What do you think, Strazza? Should we bring him out or should we let him linger back there?
Definitely bring him out.
Okay.
Yo,
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Michael Batnick.
You guys are the best.
Hey,
We like to have a good time around here, you know?
I have but one question for you. Did I get the best gear at Future Proof or what? I mean, did anything beat yellow?
Is there anything dumber? And I don't say this just as a bald man. I felt this way even when I had hair. Is there anything dumber than the visor? When Gruden used to rock it, like, what is the point?
It had a moment there in the late 90s.
What
you still
is
had
the
hair
point?
then.
I toyed with being a visor guy on the golf course. You get a lot of shit for it. You get a lot of shit for it.
What did you guys do at the stock exchanges?
Well,
I had nothing to
at
do
the
with
New
this.
York Stock Exchange, we were at a party. You know how they have those there. That's what they
Mhm.
that's all they do there now, right? So we were at a party and then we were leaving the party and noticed that there was another party. And we were like, "Oh, we should go to that." And then they were like, "No. That's not okay." They got cameras eye in the sky at the New York Stock Exchange. So that's
You're
what
a
happened there.
stock exchange crashers.
Stock exchange crasher. So, but we were already there. The Tokyo Stock Exchange, like there was like a do not enter sign, and we entered anyway. And then we were on the floor, and then there was an IPO ceremony, and we were just asking everybody where the candlesticks were.
Yeah,
because we couldn't
that's why
find
they got
any.
kicked out,
And we're
Mike.
in Japan.
They were
So-
going around the stock exchange asking
Oh
everybody
my
where the candlesticks are.
And they were
Oh
so
my
nice because they
God.
were like, candlestick. You're like, here somewhere, right? Like they were like, they were acknowledging that there should have been candlesticks at the Tokyo Stock Exchange. There was not a single candlestick. More Hello
I
Kitty
do.
than candlestick.
I do a very good Japanese accent, but I don't want to get canceled, so I'm going to shelf it.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't do
all right.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. But the guy literally said, "Oh, candlestick," you know.
You could pretty much say whatever you want on the show, Mike, and we would still have you back.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm not worried about you guys. Let's talk stocks. How are we feeling?
Yeah. By the way, I fucking love Japan and everything about it. So I'm allowed to make fun of the Japanese because we are one.
Right.
You're not making fun. You're making fun, eh?
Yeah. It's all love. And they love Americans too.
Mhm.
They just don't have candlesticks anywhere. It's weird.
Don't make
Anyway.
fun, make fun, eh? I think is that from Rush Hour? Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. That's a throwback, man. You're
Yeah,
more of a
that's-
movie guy than me.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies, Mike, what'd you think of the Oscars?
Loved it.
The
Was that
Leo
yesterday?
movie won, and I'm for that. That movie was great. Another battle, whatever, with Sean Penn and Leo and
Another
that girl.
battle, whatever. So I think that Paul Thomas Anderson is the most overrated director of all time.
Is he who
I've
directed that?
Never heard of him.
I think I think he made one good film. But I love that we have some new independent type, not independent, IP, new IP.
Yeah.
We have some original shit, and I love it. So I'm happy for Sinners, which I also thought was
Yeah.
overrated. I'm happy for One Battle. I love it. It was a good show.
Okay. Anyway, can we talk about something important? This freaking Hollywood. Who gives a shit?
I give a shit. Many shits.
Some people can.
The SpaceX IPO, right? So, Michael Batnick, you are in the financial advisor world. You talk to people that I don't talk to. You talk to people I don't want to talk to, right? So, you know, with such a big IPO, is it a negative that it's going to draw all this money that now has to carry it because it's so big and all these assets need to keep it up? Or is all this new money that didn't exist before and now exists going to be able to be deployed elsewhere in the market, and it's a net positive? How do you think about this?
It's a cute question. I heard you guys talking about it.
Is
I
it
would
cute,
say
or you don't
that
think it's a legit question?
no, it is. If I'm a betting man, and I am, I think this is very hard to handicap. I'd say it's like plus 110 for each. I'm sorry, minus 110 for each. I think it's like sort of even money because I see the argument. Yes, LOL, it's got to be the top. There's so much new supply that it's going to
That's
soak
an
up.
LOL.
People are going to sell their Apple, sell their Nvidia because they want to buy this. And I also hear the fact that this is money that is being unlocked that now you could lever up, you could borrow against because nobody ever sells their stock anymore. And that's going to provide a floor for the market. I'll tell you in 6 months. I mean, I know it's a bad answer, but I don't know. I also think that I don't think it comes public this year. How about that? I don't think the market is. I don't think that we're in the market of coming public at $1 trillion.
Things the way they are now, they're not doing it. Right.
Yeah.
I think things have to improve here from a liquidity standpoint. You want to see markets at new all-time highs again. You want to see them buying tech stocks out here
Mhm.
if you're launching SpaceX.
Yeah. So can I give you guys my thoughts on the market?
Please.
Please.
I don't like what I'm saying.
Ooh.
Your boy
The
Grant
The
Hawkridge.
Economist magazine agrees with you.
Oh, okay. Your boy Grant Hawkridge has an awesome chart. I love this guy's charts. He has
Breath chart.
this morning.
Batnik is a huge Grant fan.
I am. He does really interesting shit.
You really are. He really is.
He has a chart that shows the number of stocks in the S&P that are above their 50-day. I'm sorry, the 50-day moving average slope is rising. 200-day slope is rising.
Yeah.
The close is greater than the 50-day, and the 50-day moving average is greater than the 200-day. And that was, you had 4 to 4, right? So that's 4 stocks, 4 criteria. And you had like 225, something like that, stocks that were above all 4. And then he shows stocks that are 0 for 4, right? So it's not good. And they're touching tips. And that convergence happened really quickly. So
I didn't realize they were touching tips.
Yeah, dude. I don't like what's happening inside the market. If you're looking at the percentage of stocks making new 52-week highs, financials, it's a great chart. Financials, 0%. Comm services, 0%. This is 52-week highs. Discretionary, 0%. And even at the 24-week high, 12-week high, 8-week high, no new highs. Tech, no new highs. Industrials, no new highs. Real estate, no new highs. The only place where you're seeing new highs is energy, materials, utilities. Don't like that. I don't like any of this. I think that the internals of the market are not screaming risk on. Now, the ultimate caveat to that is one tweet ends this, right? Like one tweet from the president, we declare victory, and it's game on, and it's cover your shorts and everybody back in the boat. So I think that's like a really hard place to be from a trader point of view.
Almost impossible to be short here at this point, unless you like getting your face ripped off.
I don't like staples versus discretionary. I hate financials breaking down, and it's not just the alternative asset managers. I hate Wells Fargo breaking down. I hate like all of the big money center banks breaking down. That is not risk on. The Mag 7 can't find a bid. So now the flip side of that is they're already oversold. And to your point, Steve, like it's hard to be short now with these mega banks down in 20 to 30%.
Yeah. And they even hit industrials. We were bringing along like three charts that were big tops. We said, if they go, this is a problem. XLF was one of them. ARC was another one. And you have like a clear top on XLK and even the mags, right? We said, these can't be tops. If these are tops, it's not good. The bears have only been able to really take control of financials, like speculative growth still hanging on. XLK and the Mag 7 still really hanging on. But if more things start to go like financials and start printing tops, then yeah, it's harder to be long at that point.
So we've got, in my estimation, in my eyeballs, a clear potential rounding top. But however, the fact that the bears can't do anything really to the index, like it's still a bull market, right? So like the bulls still, I think, have long-term benefit of the doubt. So I think it's a tricky place. I think it's like an important week.
When you think of just how bad the growth trade has been all year, really, it goes back to last fall. Growth has been struggling, and the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 still look the way they do.
It's impressive.
For me, I know the breadth metrics are nasty, but how bad could it be if the indexes are holding up that well?
Yeah. There's a lot of stocks that are working. It's not the fun
I'll
stocks.
take the
It's
other
energy.
I just don't
it's
see
energy, materials, and utilities. Like that's not the fun shit, but it's holding up.
I don't love that
ahead,
either.
Jesse.
I just don't see all this weak breath that you guys are talking about. I mean, the Russell 2000 is just closed February at the highest levels ever, and that's 2/3 of the Russell 3000.
Dude,
So
it's March 16th. JC, it's March 16th. Look at the chart, bro.
I'm aware. And I would encourage you and everybody else listening out there to zoom out whenever in doubt.
I love it. Okay.
That's another monster level. Is it not? Like 245 in the IWM, whatever that is, 2450 in the Russell 2000? Absolutely critical, right? Like if you wanted just one line in the sand that can get it done for you, I think you take Russell 2000, 2450, right? Those prior cycle highs, and dollar at 100.
I could also see JC's classic oops false breakdown coming on the IWM.
Yeah, for sure.
This was the second week that the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline line did not close at an all-time high. So 2 weeks in a row that it did not close at an all-time high.
Also impressive. What do you make of that? You're getting mixed signals from breadth, right? Because we have stuff like this,
always, by the way.
Not good. And then like you could have pointed to the AD line just last week and be like, this is great. Look at breadth is fantastic. Like what do you side with?
Depends on your time frame, right, JC?
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Fuck. Somebody had to say it.
Nobody wants to say forget the AD line.
No, it's time horizon. People are like, oh, breath sucks. What, like in the last week? Zoom out. Breath does not suck. If the Russell 2000 is at an all-time high, that's 2/3 of the Russell 3000.
JC, can I tell you something? You'd be proud of me. So I think one of the biggest mistakes. Can we get the chart off for a sec?
I'm always proud of you, Batnik. You have definitely outperformed for sure. You've definitely exceeded all of our expectations, Batnik.
You're a secular leader.
Secular leader,
Oh,
definitely.
boys. One of the biggest mistakes that speculators, investors, whatever, market participants make is not knowing their time horizon, getting into a short-term trade, it working, them overstaying their welcome and giving some back and them freaking out. Like I was the king of catching a good bounce and then it rolled over 2% and I would take my profits and then it would keep going. Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, I bought the crash in IGV. I bought Salesforce. I bought ServiceNow.
Yes.
I bought Netflix.
You're talking. Look how horny Strazza's getting over here.
Wait. But the thing that I did, I sold them last week, and my account was up 11% in like 2 weeks, and that was it. I'm not saying that the AI is not going to kill ServiceNow, Salesforce. How do I know? But I just knew that was short-term capitulation, and I bought it for a trade, and I executed the short-term trade.
I think that's great because you don't know at the time if a counter trend wave is going to turn into a new primary trend.
Batnik doesn't know anything about software or AI, but he's smart enough to know. Right, who does it? I certainly
don't. But I know capitulation when I see it.
You did the right thing, I think, in taking profits in those. Whether or not that morphs into like a more durable bottom, we got to wait and see. But the opportunity to play a mean reversion bounce was huge a couple weeks ago. So yeah, totally. I love that. Good for you. Hey, Mike, do you think there's anything there? Obviously, software is the big story, right? AI is eating software. Do you think there's any, real truth and scariness behind that? And the other one is like private credit. You're talking to a lot more smarter people than we are. Is this just a fart in the wind, or is this going to end up being something bigger?
Okay. Yes and no. So is AI going to impact software? Yeah. Sure. Like the market's not dumb. All right. Salesforce and all these companies are down 60%. Yeah, there's going to be some sort of an impact. You know what's so interesting? Everybody's talking about private credit, which makes the loans, and the reason why they're getting killed, and there's a million reasons, is because the biggest lender or the biggest borrower are the software names. So BCred, an the $80 billion behemoth, 26% of their book is in software loans. And if 26%, if Salesforce is down 55 or 60%, what do you think the listed equity would be for these middle market companies that have $200 million in earnings? Are you kidding me? So yeah, they're senior secured. They get to convert the debt to the equity. They get to take over the companies if they fail. Why is nobody talking about private equity? If private credit, if the loans are bad, can you imagine how bad the equity is?
That's a great point. These stocks are down 80, 90% is the truth. They're just not being marked.
So the private equity companies, correct. If a $300 billion market cap company is down 60%, a company with 1/100th the size of it, smoked to the ground.
Right. Okay.
And the problem with private credit is that so it's a really weird thing because the loans haven't gone bad yet. Like everyone's, look at the fundamentals, there's no defaults, there's no distress.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. The market's not an idiot, okay? Yeah, there's no distress today. Give it like 5 or 6 quarters. And the problem is there's going to be no new money coming into the asset class. It's going to be all redemptions. And the financial press is so horny for it to get worse. And so it's only just begun. Like we are going to be talking about the private credit stuff for a long, long time. And the alternative asset managers might be screaming that the loan books are still good. There's no stress. Doesn't matter. The money's still going to be yanked out.
This mess takes a while to clean up, but some of these stocks, Blue Owl's down almost 70%. So it's not new. The market has
Am I the only one who didn't know what a fucking Blue Owl was 2 months ago? Am I the only one? Is this like a new name for everybody? I had never heard of this in my life.
They're like newer than KKR and Carlyle and Blackstone.
You're more in tune with this kind of stuff. Is it new to you, or have you known about this for a long time?
Blue Owl is the monster in terms of what's called GP staking. So they would invest in alternative asset managers. They would be the GP, right? So they would own a piece of the business. And then they're huge into private credit. So the thing that I like about these names, not here, because they're going to be, there's just the headline risk is too
So you're
much.
familiar with this company for a long time?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So
Yeah,
I'm the idiot.
They're big.
All right.
The good thing about these semi-liquid interval funds is that the money is stuck. So they can redeem 5% a quarter, and they will for who knows how long. But the fee-related earnings, these companies are going to continue to print money, and you are going to see massive revenue, massive earnings, but the market doesn't give a shit because these headlines are going to persist. And it doesn't matter if the loans are bad because the source of the loans, the money coming in to fund new loans is over. So yeah, this is gonna be a story for the next couple of years.
Let me ask you something, Michael. You talk to a lot of smart people. You do. You guys have great guests on your shows and stuff like that. You had Varone recently and Daniel Clifton. Is that his name?
Yes, that guy's awesome.
Dude, that guy's the man.
Yeah.
Speaking of being an idiot, like I had heard of him kind of, but I didn't know much about him. Dude, that guy's the real deal, huh?
I care nothing about what's going on in Washington. Like that is not my beat.
He makes me want to care though a little bit.
He is,
right?
but because he brings it into the market.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it done that way. He is very impressive.
Doesn't he win like institutional investors, like best of that category all the time?
He's phenomenal.
I can see why. Yeah, he's the man. So Blue Owl, not Blue Horseshoe, Blue Owl, right? Can you
that sounds like a dive bar, doesn't it?
Blue Owl sounds like a great dive bar, like in the West Village, you know what I mean?
I'd have a beer there.
Yeah, what about Michael, some of the other guests that you've had on? I'm not fully, I watched the shows like when there's guests specifically that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Which is probably I guess half the time.
I watch all your shows,
what are some of the guests you've had on recently that brought some insight that you think I would find interesting? Not the technicians,
dude,
obviously.
honestly, I do too many shows. I couldn't even tell you, but I will say Andrew Sorkin was like the nicest guy.
Really?
I read the book. I love the book. I guess I do so many of these.
Book?
I listened to it. I listened to the whole book.
Dude, I got like 3 chapters in and I was falling asleep. I can't do this.
I can't
read.
I can't read. I listen. I'm a huge listener.
I got tight stop losses on my books. I think I got that from
that guy is super nice.
Bestie.
Super nice.
How cool was Mike Francesa? I mean, he was my idol as a kid.
So I've now been to several dinners with him, and it's unbelievable. He does a radio show at dinner. It's not an act. So yeah, getting to share a meal with that guy is definitely like a highlight of my life.
Did you listen to him growing up? Were you a big WFAN guy?
Huge. I went to Bar A. So I went to the Jersey Shore to see, like, I've only done it once, but to see the live show. So yes, me and my friends were huge Mike and the Mad Dog fans. Everybody from Long Island was.
Best show. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome that he's cool.
Can we talk about Archie the Broker? For those who don't know, Archie the Broker is one of the greatest. I was listening to the podcast and like I almost pissed and shit myself at the same time laughing so hard. So a couple of years ago, Eli Manning goes on to the Compound and Friends, right? With Josh and Michael, and this is like Michael's like favorite guy like in the history of sports.
So good.
And he starts out the conversation talking about how, talking about Eli's father, the stockbroker.
Conversation. So
drop the link in the chat. You guys got to hear this.
I know I'm off mic.
Oh God. Oh, what a picture.
You got it signed that day or you already had it?
No, I already had it. I have 3, but I got this signed this day.
Dude.
Nice.
Unbelievable.
So he signed like the letter that I wrote.
Was that the Post?
I think that was Newsday. So anyway, I don't know. I have all the clippings from those Super Bowls.
I dropped in the link. Stop burying the lead.
So what JC is describing is on the show, I was talking and I said, we were talking about business, I think. And I said, Eli, your dad, famously a stockbroker. And he's like, So for those who don't know, Eli's dad, Archie Manning, was a college legend, NFL quarterback for the Saints, had a big career on a shitty team, but he said, like, I've never heard anybody describe my dad.
And think about
as
how
a
many times
stockbroker.
he's heard his father introduced over the
Yeah,
years.
yeah, NFL quarterback led. Yeah, that was
Eli's
funny.
dad, Archie Manning, the
Yeah,
stockbroker.
stockbroker. I think he was for a minute. I don't know.
I didn't know that until that moment, actually.
Fantastic.
Somebody
How about
was doing
the
his homework. Go back
sentiment?
and listen to. You guys got to hear this. Just
Yeah,
Eli's reaction. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
So
Stockbroker?
the gang got me Archie to do a cameo video for me, a happy birthday video. And he goes, Michael, it's Archie the stockbroker.
So good. Can you send that to me? I'd love to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I got to find that.
Dude, those cameos are actually pretty funny because they can be
Very
very
cool.
personal like that, you know?
Very cool.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, how about the sentiment from Future Proof this year? Is that you ever take anything away from that? You know what? Did you notice anything at the
In terms
conference?
of, like,
Private credit and last year? And
Yeah.
crypto
Okay.
was
So
last year?
here's some conversations that were going on, you know, at lunches and dinners in Miami last week. Someone said to me, I said, this is great. They said last year, the whole theme of the conference was crypto and private credit. That ended up being quite the signal.
That is
They
not
said
true.
this year it's AI. Dude, yeah.
So
What do?
the whole conference was not crypto last year. We did a sailor layer, but that's not true.
Totally.
But this
Agreed.
year, yeah, it was an AI conference.
Yeah.
But not in the sense of like, what is OpenAI going to do? It was really like, how is AI going to impact the life of the advisor? And that's not on top. Like, this is there are fundamental changes in the way we do business for sure, no doubt.
I said that. I had you guys back. I said this is not a signal. This is an industry conference.
No.
There's
How
no
are
signal.
you using AI, Michael?
All day, every day. Probably not too dissimilar from what you guys are doing.
Are you doing the Claude? Are you on the Claude?
So
Oh,
And he's gone. Just like that.
AI did
Good.
it.
AI, it's AI's fault.
AI
See
did
that?
it. AI took him out.
AI took him out.
Hi,
And
I'm back.
we're back.
I don't know why I have chat on my phone. But I'm using Claude on my computer. I guess chat's fine for my phone when I'm just like a quick like blah 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 blah.
Is chat short for Chat GPT?
Yeah, Claude is truly unbelievable. Oh, for example, last week, I said, tell me about the private credit exposure at KKR, Carlyle, Brookfield, Apollo, Blackstone, and it gave me a pie chart. And then I said, okay, break it down like further, like within the credit book. How much of it is private? How much is distressed? How much is whatever? It's magic. You know this.
Yeah. I got so used to Chat GPT, it's been hard to transition because it's like having a new girlfriend. You know what I mean? You got to go through all the.
It's not that hard.
boring shit.
It's not that hard.
You
Just
gotta
say,
tell you.
just say it's not you, it's me. Just move on.
Do you use it for personal stuff that has nothing to do with private credit and work stuff?
All the time.
All day. Food.
Like what?
Food rent.
Yesterday my toilet was running. I took a picture and I said, what do I do?
You could take a picture and say, how should I clean this?
I use it all the time. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
There should not be any more I don't know. Like if there is something that you don't know that you should learn it.
Okay,
It's
this is great
so
advice.
easy.
This is great advice for young professionals coming out of college, starting their first job. This is perfect. This is great. You have no business saying, I don't know, when your boss asks you a question. You could come back in 15 minutes and say, I didn't find too much, right?
But here's
to
the
not
best part.
Look and use the AI tools. Just say, I don't know. Sound like an idiot.
Here's the
Don't
best
do
part, guys. Here's the best part that I think is understated. Like during the whole crypto thing where we're learning, I'm buying real estate next to Snoop in the metaverse and all this shit. Like I had to figure it out on my own. There was nothing to help me. But with AI, if you don't know, you could just ask it. Be like, hey, how do I do this using AI? Like, here's what I want to do. And it'll just tell you, which is fantastic. I feel
That's
like that
amazing.
part, people are like, oh, I don't know. I don't understand it. You can just ask it and it'll explain it to you. And it'll be like, I still don't understand. It'll explain it to you a different way.
We like to run a lot of different studies, build new charts and data visuals. And when I talk to the analyst team and I come up with an idea these days and they say to me, that's not possible. I say, bullshit you. It is possible. You just don't know how to do it. I feel like everything is now possible. Like no is not an acceptable answer.
So I am huge into audiobooks these days. A couple of weeks ago, I listened to The Chip War, because I didn't know anything about. I wanted to know, like, how did Taiwan Semi become Taiwan Semi? How come all of the manufacturing is made in Korea and Taiwan? So I Googled what's the best book on this. Chip War came up. I listened to it. I didn't know anything about lithography, foundries, fabless stuff. So I listened to the book, but it's all new to me, right? Like it's like learning a new language. So yesterday I said to Claude, hey, I just listened to Chip War, but I like forget all of it already. Remind me which companies are doing this, this, and this, and what is this again? Oh yeah. So just filling in the blanks, like it accelerates your learning 1,000 times.
Does it have a library of like every book ever? Like how can it go into the books without buying it?
No. It told me which book to listen to. And then from there, while I'm listening, I'm like, wait, tell me about this. Wait, hold on. I don't understand this. Like explain this like I'm a 5-year-old.
Got it. That's cool.
The majority of what I talk to my chat bots about is food. Recipes, where to eat, when I'm in new cities, where the best food trucks, where do the locals eat. ChatGPT even does a great job with that.
Yeah, I did it in Miami.
Should we just put with the NCAA brackets, just put it into the ChatGPT and tell me, hey, spit it out?
Who you got in the March Madness, Mike? Do you care at all?
I don't participate. I'm the anti-JC. I don't follow college sports, so I don't know anything. I don't even watch.
He's like the Knicks.
You're such a New Yorker, bro.
I know. I'm an American New Yorker.
I love that Josh Brown loves the Miami Hurricanes now, though. That is pretty cool.
Big fan.
It only took me 20 freaking years to convince him.
Hey, they're good this year.
The market is open. I do like yields coming in pretty hard.
Dollars?
Dollars?
What are those dollars?
What are dollars doing? Down a bit.
Dollars are getting killed.
All right. It's a new week.
Dollars are getting killed.
Would like to see some stabilization here.
I want to give a shout out to Chart Kid Matt. Great job out there bringing in quality.
I bumped into him at a sketchy ass dive bar one night last week.
How sketchy on a scale of 1 to 10?
Something you probably know it. Deuces something. It was gross, dude. Weitzel couldn't even be in there. There was smoke everywhere.
Can I say one last thing? And on a positive note, you got to be encouraged by crypto's price action. On Sunday night, I was out to dinner with Dan Ives when crude oil was up 27%.
Throw the chart up.
And the first thing that I did was look at Bitcoin, and it was flat. And I honestly, I felt a lot better. If Bitcoin was crashing, I would have been like, tomorrow's going to suck. I felt a lot better.
You Sunday night, you ghosted me, and I went to Joe Stonecraft instead.
I was sleeping, I think.
8 straight days.
There it is. Michael Batnick.
It's crashing every day on the news. Bitcoin's been up for 8 straight days.
We'll take it. All right, fellas.
Everybody follow Michael Batnick. Watch the podcast. Great podcast.
You guys are the best. I love coming on the show.
Thanks,
Tell everybody I said hi.
Later.
Michael Batnick. Always fun to do their show. Their show's fun. They got to get you on. They got to get you on without me because you never get a word in.
When I'm in New York, I'll let them know I'm never in New York. It's not a reality for us, unfortunately.
Direct flights from Punta Gorda to Allentown.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I said that. You did say that. Yeah.
I remember a very, very beautiful golf courses that I don't use.
I don't take flights that I don't need to. I really like staying in the great state of Florida. I have a new rule this year outside of our conferences. The only conferences that I do are in Florida and I can drive to them, really. New rule and it's going really well. Turns out to be great policy, great personal policy.
But you should come up and play golf.
I would love to, JC, and I will.
Show you how it's done, my friend.
When it gets warmer, my friend, I'll be there. Let's let spring break. So somebody asked, what is the best book on technical analysis? I have a different answer. Okay. Technical analysis, if you're going to use it in the right way, it's a mindset, right? You got to free your mind of all the pollution and all the noise, right? Try this one. The Tao Te Ching by Stephen Mitchell. This is a book about technical analysis. It's a book about the way, right? Just the way honestly, Zen is about trend following, not forcing yourself on the world, right? Or trying to make things that aren't there, be there. It's about just moving with the waves, right? Flowing with the motion of the ocean. So I think any more Zen books, The Prophet by Cahill Gibran, another good one. It teaches you how to live to best use the principles of technical analysis. We're not fighting trends. We're just rolling with the punches in life. And these Zen books are really like good reminders of how to live that life.
Is Is that Steve Strazza or James Bartoloni? I'm not quite
Oh,
sure.
dude, I'm a big Zen guy. I just don't talk about it. And right now I'm reading this one.
Okay.
John Lefebvre. I hope that Straight to Hell. I don't know. Somebody told me it was like the Turney Duff book. We'll see.
All right. Hey, before we go, we got Jason Pros in the house.
him out.
Let's bring him out.
US dollar resistance at 100 or no?
I keep saying 101, 100, 101, 50 is really that major resistance zone, especially if you look at the monthly closes or the weekly closes, you're going to see a lot of that. So to me, that's really what I'm looking for. If we really get sustainable over there, that's the pain zone, which would bring everything down.
That's the serious pain zone.
Yes, everything's probably going down in that environment. Even probably oil, everything's probably going to get hit, even with the supply issues or whatever's going on. That's going to be a major factor.
Jason, are you Zen?
I'm very Zen. So I heard Steve talking about that, and I was like, I've read all those books, and I completely agree with him. That's honestly people are always like, man, you must really like buying breakouts. It's like, hell no, I absolutely fucking hate buying breakouts. It's just what works. I figured out what works, and then I can basically ride trends and exactly what Steve said, ride the waves and not overthink it and let it run. So yeah, definitely into it.
Let's bring up a few of Jason's charts if we can. Can we start with the I don't know.
Oh, we can start wherever, man. Wherever.
There's a lot here. We're not gonna get through all these right now.
No, we don't have to. Just a nice little, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but there's plenty to talk about this week. Yep, this is the one I want to talk about more than anything else, which is the fact that we have been highlighting this Bollinger Band squeeze on the monthly chart for a long time. It just started moving a couple weeks ago. We've kept updating people on it, how it's moving and so on. Now it's really taken off, and these Bollinger Band squeeze breakouts, especially on a monthly time frame, these are very significant movements that usually lead to massive upside for a sustained period of time. So I do think that this is going to be a big move that continues to happen. Everybody tries to read, and this, JC, everybody tries to read every indicator like it's overbought, oversold. And it's like, no, this is telling you when it's low and it's in that blue zone, it's telling you a big move is coming. Up or down, I'm not 100% all the time. You have to wait for the technical analysis to tell you which way it's going to go. So look at 2020. It broke down. That was a massive breakdown. Took oil all the way down to negative $50 in the front month contract. And now we're breaking out to the upside. And who knows where this thing ends up. So I want to keep this one on my radar. I think that, the whole energy sector looks like that. JC, you've been highlighting that. Steve's been highlighting that with the Strazza indicator a ton as well. So I think we're in this zone where we're in a very sustainable trend for energy. There's going to be pullbacks. It's going to be sloppy. But like what we were talking about earlier, man, you got to really ride the waves when it's moving your direction. And I think it's a good time to just get the hell out of the way and let the trend work.
Man, this is significant. And so if the US dollar starts breaking through 101, like you said, this sustained trend is going to have a hard time in the short term, no?
I think so, but once again, it's like the US dollar to me is something that there's going to be bounces. They'll be very short-lived though, right? That's the way I keep looking at it, which is as long as we're in a bull steepener in the yield curve, which we are.
Are we?
Yeah.
Still.
Oh, absolutely. Like once again, there's people who will look at it and be like, oh, we had this pullback. And if you look real close at it, there's a pullback. Look at it today. It's all the way back to where it was. So, there's going to be little
back to where it was when?
Go look at the chart. I think I actually brought one.
I mean, we're not at where we were 6 weeks ago.
We're close. Let me
Twos,
bring up
tens?
that chart. Where's that chart? Oh, I didn't bring the chart today.
You're talking twos, tens?
I'm talking the Fed rate against the 10-year.
Okay.
Fed rate 10-year.
Drop that for me in the Slack.
Yep.
When we get done. Thank you.
Yep. Fed rate versus 10-year.
You like Fed funds 10s more than twos, 10s, or like a 3-month 30s or something like that. You like Fed 10s.
Yes. You could go 3-month 30, but once again, like everybody, they're all about the same. It's just which one's moving, which one's kind of directing the cycle. as you talk about a lot too, which is like what's working during this cycle the best. And really right now, to me, it's the 3-month and the 10-year or the Fed rate 10-year, however you want to look at it. So I think that we're still in an environment that's very conducive to the energy trade, the commodity trade, a weaker dollar environment. There's going to be some nasty pullbacks over time. Don't get me wrong, guys. And there'll be some movements in the bonds over time. But overall, it's like we're in an environment where oil could definitely take off here and not look back. The big thing to keep watching, as you alluded to, which is the dollar. If it gets up into that pain zone, up over 101 and starts sustaining up there, I think we're in a lot of pain for the whole commodities trade, not to mention the stock market. Just about everything's probably going to be pretty rough in that environment.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And go to 2026. We'll just highlight a couple of these before we got to get out of here. But 26 is kind of just showing this trend. You know, when we're looking at gold, a lot of people forget gold topped out in August 2020. You know, a lot of people forget that. So that was August 2020. You had that big kind of blow off top that happened in August that year. And then gold went sideways for 3.5 years. Nothing, basically nothing. Hard trade. Everybody hated it. Very similar to the energy trade where everybody was like, this is dead money. It's never going to move again. Every breakout, you guys are idiots for even trying to buy these things. And that happened to gold miners, silver, and so on. And then all of a sudden, gold took off, never looked back. Silver followed it, platinum, palladium, miners, and so on. Energy, getting into 2022, it tops out, basically goes sideways, basically since then. And then that's 3.5 years afterwards. So 2022 all the way into this year in 2026. Now we're breaking out to the upside. I think this could look very similar to gold going forward. Now, once again, this is all dollar dependent. If we get up into that pain zone, the XLE, the energy sector, all these energy stocks are going to take a little bit of a hit. But in the long run, I do think, because if there's a move in the dollar, what I would think, JC, is that dollar move will be very short term. So short term, I could see a little explosiveness from the dollar. Long term, I don't think the dollar has legs. I think the dollar would probably roll over, and probably energy would probably continue right there. But
hold on, when you say the dollar, you're talking about dollar index, so basically against the euro. You're talking about dollar versus real money. You're talking about dollar versus EM forex. Like, what is, or all of the above?
All the above. A dollar index mainly. You know, if you look at the currencies, though, this is interesting, JC. If you go through all the currencies and you look through, you know, the euro looks like trash. You know, big false breakout, broke even down to the downside a little bit currently. And then if you look at the pound, it doesn't look as bad, but it doesn't look that good either. Swiss franc, same thing. Look at the Aussie dollar, though. Look at the Kiwi. Some of these are actually holding up really, really well. And what are those currencies more than anything else? These are the commodity currencies. Yep. So that's kind of interesting to see that divergence currently. And that's something that I'm monitoring, because I think if, you know, the Aussie dollar starts to really break down, it's telling us something about the dollar being more sustainable. But if the Aussie dollar continues to hold up the way it has, I think that this trend in the dollar is probably very short-lived.
EM forex holding in pretty well too.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of stuff going on here.
More commodity centric.
Yes, I think we got a lot of stuff going on here. You know, if you look at even bonds, you know, like we got this. The bonds are kind of taking a little bit of a bounce today. If we go to chart 25, it's the last one. Sorry, I did say last one before, but chart 25 just kind of is telling us the same kind of story, which is we did see last week, bonds went down quite a bit. It was a big drawdown in bonds all week long, basically got below those levels where it started to move up and everybody got excited. It was kind of like, it reminded me of, you know, when you're a kid and you're, what was I, probably like 12 years old, and you're sitting in the room and you got the rabbit ears on the TV, JC, do you remember this? And you get the Cinemax on there and you try to grab the rabbit ears and you're like, oh, I think I saw an ass. I think I saw a titty, you know, like that's kind of how. Yep. There's a boob. It kind of reminds me of TLT. Whenever it gets a green candle, everybody's like, there's a boob. Hell yeah. You know, we're going up. We're never looking back. And then it just
only on the morning show do you get the comparisons between the bond market and boobs on the Cinemax. Only here, ladies and gentlemen, only here.
It makes sense. I mean, it's the only way I can explain it because it's
Makes
like
sense to me. I
everybody gets
remember those
excited.
days well. That's where I would.
This used to be a family show. All right.
My family was in the other room.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get out of here. Listen, if you want to get Jason's research, his trade ideas, and his reports, get the Gold Rush. The link was just up on the screen. Thank you, Jason, for stopping by. Thank you to Michael Batnick, Kenny Glick, everyone in the chat. Today is Monday. On Mondays, we do chart requests live at 1 o'clock here on the channel. If you have a request, a question on a specific ticker or whatever,
Spencer,
email your request in. The email is up on the screen, isn't it? There it is. Questions at stockmarketmedia.com. And the guys today, it's Alfonso and Dan. They will answer your questions live on the show. That's what we got today. Markets are open. Let's go do
Spencer,
our thing.
We're not doing recess.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Quick recess.
Okay.
I got something.
Oh,
little
okay.
Bit,
I'm sorry. All right. Yeah, let's do a
it's just gonna
recess.
freak people out. We got.
What do you got?
All right, so I brought today a wasp nest.
Wait a minute.
Zoom in on that.
Zoom in on that.
Making
Zoom in
this
on
bigger.
that. Yeah. So I brought a bald-faced hornet's nest. So, I was out at the park. I found this bald-faced hornet's nest laying on the ground, which is actually one that used to come and hang out with me all the time. And these things are actually the deadliest hornets actually probably in the United States. But they come and hang out on my arm every day. And I was like, well, I'm going to go get their nest and bring it home. And, people are probably like, oh my God, they're going to fly out at you. But really, like, after the year, they abandon their nest, so nobody's in here. There are a couple dead ones in there. If you guys really want to see that, you probably don't. But anyways, be ready for the pollinators to come back this year. It's going to be a fun year with that for me. So just wanted to show everybody that. I know everybody loves hornet's nest, so just brought it for everybody.
I wish I loved anything as much as Jason loves bees.
Dude, bees are very special.
They are.
Oh, it's so good.
I
like that. The pollinators.
Pollinators, man. Got to get ready. Let your weeds grow out. Let them eat, man. They have a rough year coming up.
I'm grateful that we have people like Jason who care enough about bees to counteract people like me who could not give a shit.
Bees are important. They're critically important.
They're very important.
Dude, if you're ever in Napa Valley, in Yountville, where the French Laundry is, there's a garden across the street where the French Laundry gets all their herbs and all that. There's a bees box. What are those bees boxes called? What are they called, Jason?
Just a box. Yeah.
Like a bee
box?
About
for honeybees? Yeah.
And you'll go there and you'll always see like some older hippie lady reading a book next to all the bees, just chilling, reading books next to the bees. Like, it's fascinating. I got a confession here from my recess. Throw up that slide too. So I am now 44 years old with kids. I am turning in my side-by-side, which is very powerful and aggressive.
For a golf cart.
We are buying a golf cart.
Oh, wow.
You're going to move to Florida next. You're so close. You're so close.
We're buying multi-row golf cart. So turning in my side-by-side for the golf cart. Golf cart's like a third of the price of side-by-side, by the way. So I got that going for me. So I got like 20 grand in leftover cash to deploy.
Great move. Far more practical purchase here. Great move. I support this.
I also went with the electric. Which I wasn't going to do, but I'm going with the electric. So yeah, that's where I am.
Can I ask, where do you use this?
In the Poconos. In the Poconos. You take it to like the water where the boats are. You take it to the beach. You take it to like the equivalent of a bodega. It wouldn't be a bodega in the middle of the mountains, but for all intents and purposes, it basically is. They got everything you need,
Okay.
Spencer, let's go for a spin, maybe. Go look for some bear, go on a bear hunt.
There are lots of communities where I live where there are more golf carts than cars.
No, that I understand.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I get that.
And this is orange, by the way. It's not red. I know it looks red. It's just the sun. This is actually a BTC orange. So I'm thinking about getting some BTC stickers.
Jesus. I don't know. That looks pretty red to me, dog.
No, I know. My kid said the same thing. I'm just telling you it's not. It's actually orange AF.
Right. Okay. I have three things real quick. if you ever have a bee problem, you should never pay for the eradication of the bees, because there are freaks like Jason all over the country who, if you find and call, they will gladly come to your house and take the bee situation away safely and then go harvest it for honey. That happened to me in Key West many years ago. Number two, I'm watching that new Jason Bateman show on the HBO. It's about like some guys who aren't getting the action.
The St. Louis one. St. Louis.
They download Tinder and then one of them gets murdered. It's a little spicy. Linda Cardellini is in it, and she's just aged so well. I'll watch anything she does. Love that gal. And then number three, there's going to be a rematch. There's going to be a St. John's UConn 4. Okay, because they did this on purpose. The selection committee knows that, and it's only fair. They put us in the same region, and Duke's going to do what Duke always does: have a near perfect season, then go lose in the second round. It's going to be St. John's and UConn in the Elite Eight, and I can't wait.
Hater.
Wow, that's a take. All right. I do think St. John's was underseeded. Maybe the narrative played a role in that, but yeah. All right. I think maybe we'll do a bracket on the show later on this week.
I'm just gonna put it in ChatGPT and whatever it spits out, I'm gonna give it to you, Spencer.
We'll do a markets bracket. We'll do a markets bracket. It'll be fun. Okay. Let's get out of here. All right. It's 9:52. We got to go. Thank you for watching. Drop us a like. Go make some money. We'll see you tomorrow or later on at Chat Request Live.
YOLO responsibly.
And I'll email you back. NAAIM. I got you.
Okay.
I'm coming.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.